wherever you go, whatever they get into. From chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredelioQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.
Edit audio.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Hopkins, and this is Well Adjusting, where I talk to people about life stuff, but not in an NPR way. It's more like we're at the bar, having cocktails, getting into your business sort of way.
It's giving drunk NPR.
Oh, and producer Steph is here too.
Hello.
Today, we chat, well, living your best life on the road. Well, hello, friends. Okay, Robin here. Now, listen, for this episode, you're going to hear the sounds of clinking glass, maybe some silverware, maybe some random chatter, and that is because I am on the road. I am on a little vacation in Spain for a wedding. Yes, and if you have listened to our back catalog of episodes, there was the episode where Steph and I were live in a bar and we were taking questions from people. And there was these two guys, Baron. If you haven't listened to this episode, for God's sakes, go back. But Baron and Baron came and said, should we do a destination wedding? And of course, Steph and I were like, yes, you do. And guess what? Now we are here for this wedding. That means that producer Steph is here with me.
Hello.
It also means that immediately we started chatting about, we're going to be here for this wedding. And, Steph and I, we are who we are. So obviously we will need to record an episode about traveling and managing stressors of traveling, all the things that go into a road trip. Now, we could have said, yeah, we need a vacation, Steph. We could have said that. But we did not. We said, let's do an episode. So, I mean, at least there's cocktails right here. Okay. Anywho, in preparation for this event, we sourced a few questions from fellow travelers, and one of my fellow travelers, my friend Natalie, my good pal Natalie, is here, and she's going to help us give you some advice. So, Steph, Nat, are we ready to talk travel?
Yes. Yay.
Natalie in a distance. So our first question is from my pal Natalie. Here we go.
Okay, this is something I've been struggling with across Spain. I want to know the best way to politely say, I don't want your octopus in any way or form. And it's not a critique of your culture or your food choices. And I've been served octopus in many places. It's just not my cup of tea. How do you say that nicely and authentically without someone saying this way and this sauce is going to make you love it, because you don't love it?
I have to say, I absolutely love this question because I am, you know me, Steph, like I eat like a fourth grader. Like I've never met a chicken nugget I didn't love. And I don't like seafood. And in my entire life, everybody, no, but you haven't tried this seafood. Try this seafood. That's how I feel.
And how has that gone for you?
It goes really badly every time. But because I'm so defensive about people thinking I'm not open about it, I try it every time. I tried octopus last night and it hurt not just the insides of my mouth, but my soul. Mm-hmm. And it sparked an entire conversation with the woman across from me who was from Portugal about whether or not to be open with foods. And I don't know, like, I feel like the direct approach is the answer. Just, I am open to foods. I do love foods. I have tried this food a million times and I don't like it.
I feel like that still makes you sound defensive.
Oh, it's 100% defensive. Because the reality is, why can't we just be like, no, thank you, and not be thought of as an ugly American?
Well, first of all, Americans are ugly.
Did you say aren't or are?
Are.
Yeah.
The person that asked this question is Jamaican, which I feel like does make it different.
100%. I mean, she grows up in a seafood culture.
Yeah. And I think the reason I'm pointing that out is, like, I grew up very Italian, like eels in the bathtub, and then we would take the eels out and cut off their heads and put them in pasta.
Why are they in the bathtub?
Because it's a large body of water.
Okay.
I mean, there was a sink that it got upgraded to because my mom didn't like that I was playing with the eels, but it's a whole thing. Anyways, but when I got older, I was like, I'm just done eating animals.
Okay.
And no one understood that. No one liked it. And for probably 20 years, there's still, honestly, people in my family are like, well, just try it. Just eat it. And I'm like, I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't want it.
Well, so are we saying the answer is just don't care what those people think of you and be polite about it? Because I mean, that's all I can think to do. But to me, it's like I am always going to step into the defensive territory, and I am going to explain why, whether I need to or not, probably.
I feel like you only explain if people ask, but I am always just like, no, thank you. And I don't want that. And I never go on like a TED talk about why I don't want it, but I just say like, I don't want that. Like, no, thank you.
I would say this will be yet another bit of well-adjusting advice that we're saying we know is hard to do. So I think I would ultimately say, do what you want to do, and then don't let that person get to you because they don't know you. They don't know your history. And again, that's easier said than done.
Or just lie. Just be like, I grew up in an octopus farm and I'm over it.
I have ethical concerns for octopus. Okay.
I mean, I do have ethical concerns for octopus. They're like the smartest animal in the world. We should not be eating them. But there's my TED talk.
I was like, well, okay. I have no dog in that fight. So I'm going to move on to our next question.
You have no octopus in that fight.
All right, so we have another question. This is a very good one. I'm really tied to my phone in my everyday life, and now that I use my phone for directions, itineraries, paying for things, I find that when I am traveling, it is very hard to unplug completely. What should I do?
I guess, what are you doing on your phone?
That is exactly what I was going to say. Like, I would set boundaries and parameters. Maybe there's no Instagram or TikTok scrolling. Mm-hmm. You're only allowed to use it for directions. And then it needs to be little things like it can't be on the table while you're eating. It needs to be in your bag, like active parameters for you're not mindlessly scrolling.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like I use my phone all the time when I'm traveling to take photos.
Well, I would even say if you wanted to be hardcore, you could say, I can take pictures, but I will not be posting them while on the trip.
Yeah.
And I'll post when I come back. So like, I think a social media blackout would be a really great idea.
Or like when you get back to the hotel, you have half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night or something.
And set a timer.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a food comparison. So I have been getting back on my food plan because things have been a little wonky. And I only had like a week or two under my belt. And I'm like, I'm going to go travel now. And I'm like, I won't even know what these meals are or how to like log them in a food journal. So I was like, I set rules. I was like, what I can do is I can say, I'm not going to snack in between meals. I am not going to go back for seconds. I'm not going to do desserts. Like, and I just set rounds and looked at portion control. And that has been enough to help keep me like, am I being as pristine as I would be back in the US? No. But is it keeping things gated, and is it keeping my need or want to do something that's not good for me at bay? Yes. And so like I'm just a huge fan of like setting some parameters
great.
and some thanks, Steph.
Robin.
I'm doing okay.
I'm so happy. I'm so proud of
Back
you.
in therapy, y'all.
I love that. I love that though, because you're not being rigid with it and you're not being hard on yourself. You just adjusted within the boundaries that you could. And I love that.
Well, I think, because I'd like to get this off of me, I think that that would be a really great like type of thing to do to help you with that.
Set up the parameters. I guess the only trouble is a lot of that, and this is what the parameters are good for, a lot of that is
arbitrary and self-imposed.
No, like mindless. Like I feel like people use their phones and they don't like actually realize they're using their phone.
Well, I think that's why I'm like, I agree with exactly what you said to start is like, what's the thing you're doing on it? Is it a useful thing to help you for the trip, or are you being mindless?
Yeah.
I think anything where you catch yourself and you're not being present to where you are, because isn't that the whole point, is to be someplace else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think using your phone is always bad. So that's what I'm saying. Like, do what's good for it.
Take the judgment away, you're saying. I like that. Okay. All right, let's take a listen to this question.
When I plan a vacation, I'm always envisioning me on a beach, relaxed, enjoying things with no stress. But often I find when I travel, I'm the same person with the same stressors. So I'm wondering what I can do to like truly relax and maybe be less me on vacation.
Be less me on a travel or a trip. I hate to say it, but I don't know that that's possible. It's like that whole saying, wherever you go, there you are. I mean, I took a whole 2-month sabbatical in my early 30s because I was like, I'm so tired. And I thought I was going to go learn to surf. I thought I was going to go and like be a different Robin. And all I found was that I just brought Robin to Costa Rica. But I did learn that I'm not a person who makes friends easily while traveling. And that was problematic for traveling solo for 2 months.
All right. Well, let's circle back to that later.
I told you I'm back in therapy.
I don't know if we're the people to come to for this advice because we are working.
Well, but okay, no, but let's say that if we approach it similar to the question about your phone is again, what is your, it's about like, what are your expectations, right? If you are going, like this particular trip, I wanted to relax because it has been very stressful. And so then the question became, did I put too much pressure on myself to relax?
Like, what are you doing? What are the stresses? And are they helping you or hindering you? And if they're hindering you, then like, can you set up systems so that you're not constantly in the stress?
Well, can you set up a massage when you get there? If you are a stressful traveler who has like anxiety, what can you do to mitigate that anxiety? Like, can you make sure you're traveling with people who have your vibe? If you can't, what else can you put in place?
Yeah. Start your day with a meditation. Start your day with like something that makes you feel present. I think the nice thing about traveling is you're not tied to the schedule that you're tied to at home usually.
Yes.
And so there is opportunity to schedule things that make you feel more present and less stressed out. I'm like, schedule.
I know. We're like, schedule your joy. No, but I was going to say what's your intention going into the trip? Like, can you set an intention for it? Can you say, like, I know I'm a really bunged up person. Like, so can I go in and try to be less bunged? Like, my version for it this trip was like, I'm very bunged at home. I want to go on this trip and I want to be relaxed. So I didn't plan anything. Well, what I learned from that was all I did was then when I got to Madrid, not have restaurants to stay at, not know where I'm going. And it actually didn't work for me. So like from previous trips, I probably could have understood I probably should plan a few things, and that actually takes some of the pressure off. So thinking about who you are as a person and setting it up around that. Yeah. Like our friend Natalie, who's sitting here, she's a traveler who really like is not comfortable with germs and things so she travels with top sheets. She travels with like sanitation stuff. Like she knows who she is and she packs for herself. Natalie ain't never coming on a trip without a second piece of luggage. She is just not. And she knows herself, and I love that.
I love that too.
All right. Did we answer it?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Love your stress. That's the moral of the story.
Well, it's kind of just accept yourself. Like you're not gonna be a different person because you crossed a state line.
No.
It's not happening.
No.
You're still not gonna like octopus.
Yeah.
And I learned that.
Again. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go to our next question. This is from Tony. Okay. How do I step out of my comfort zone when on trips? I find that I want to do things that I would usually enjoy at home, but I want to be more open to new experiences. What is a realistic way to do that? I mean, I feel like the whole, like, this is all going to be like, plan it.
I really was going to say that. I'm like, you have to, I think, set it up before you're in the place. Like, schedule things in or like book tickets to things that you wouldn't do, or, you know, book a restaurant that you wouldn't normally eat at. And I think do it before you get to the place so that you aren't like stressed out. Because I find like once you get there, you're like, oh my God, there's so many like distractions and things to do. Yeah. Whereas if you have things that are already planned that are pushing you a little.
Or at least know what those things are. Like if you go to Costa Rica and you're afraid of heights, you might be like, I'm going to do a zip line. But find a little like.
That's real 0 to 100. I thought you were going to say like climb like rock.
I mean, you can also whitewater raft. You can, okay. But I'm saying knowing what the like, you know, we went to Madrid and went to a flamenco show. Now we knew that was a thing that we could do, so we had to like ask somebody at the hotel, which I think is another thing you could do is ask somebody, like if you're staying at a place that has a concierge, if you are so lucky. Then you can just be like, what's a cool local thing to do? And I think like don't look for. Like, I think I've been guilty in the past of going and looking for like, that looks like that'd be American type food. Like we actually ate Mexican in Paris this spring. And I almost didn't tell anybody because it was embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. Like, also can't be very good.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't great. But I was like, I know what all these things are in the menu. And after that, we were like, let's not do that again. Because I think food is one of the biggest areas where you can be open. And somebody we're traveling with on this trip said, what do you like here to the person at the table? And I thought, oh, that's an interesting way to get something that I wouldn't normally choose if you're open. But I think also like, I mean, this is like a way to discover the things, but like a Reddit group for the town you're going to will tell you all the weird and different things that you can do.
I love a
and
Reddit.
Just make sure to plan a couple of those.
I love a Reddit thread.
Yeah. Oh my God. I used the Paris Reddit thread for everything, for like how to plan. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we live before Reddit? Okay, now we got a question from Amy. How do I avoid the pressure to overdo it and feel guilty when I don't maximize every second of every single day? This is what I call the relaxation stride. Like there's that point on vacation where you just know your shoulders are still up by your ears. You get the shoulder earrings and you can feel yourself trying to like relax, or at least maybe I should be speaking in I terms. I can feel myself trying to relax. And then all of a sudden I can feel when it's like, oh, my shoulders drop. And it's always when I don't care where I'm supposed to be or what time I woke up. Like that's when I know I'm starting to hit my stride, is when I'm like, oh, it's 11. I just woke up. I don't know how to get there, though. I feel like you just have to respect that there's going to be a day or two where you're bunged.
Or you can ask yourself, are you really enjoying this experience, or are you checking a list? And if you're checking a list and you're just doing it and not fully immersed, and you think of the other side of the vacation, you get home and you're more tired than when you went on vacation because you were just doing these things. You're like, I'm in Madrid. These are the 20 things I must do. And you're literally trying to squeeze them in. Are you really enjoying the experience? Or just checking off a list?
Yeah, I think I
love that.
I don't have that thing where I like go to a place and I'm like trying to do all the things. I'm just going to live my life that I live in New York, but it'll be like we're in a lovely place.
I feel like that's because you travel so much. I mean, literally, you went to another country 2 weeks before this, and you just bopped over here, and you were someplace else before that. So, like, I like think about the person who gets 2 vacations a year, and they saved, or one, and they saved all their money for it. Like, my sister will put a hell of a lot of pressure on a vacation. Like, she starts a countdown 6 months in advance, 287 days. And I'm always like, whoa, this vacation better be the greatest vacation of your life.
Yeah.
I love you, Kim.
I don't know if it matters, though. Like, I don't know if seeing the stuff, like, if you don't care about those things, like, why are you doing it? Like, are you doing it just to say you did it? Are you doing it to go tell other people that you did it? And is that more important to you than just like having a good meal with someone that you love and you're traveling with in a different place where you're allowed the time to be more relaxed?
Yeah.
Like, I'm always going to take a 2-hour lunch with a friend or a cool stranger that I met over going to see some artwork.
So, I love a good artwork, but I can say this, like, we went to the Prado before this, and I was disappointed. The people were mean to us. That Renaissance style art is not my jam. Like, I don't need any more cherubs or Jesus notes that I don't get.
I love a cherub.
So an experience that you're like looking up to, and that you're like, this is going to change me. And if you're putting that level of pressure on it, and you get there and it's not what you hoped it would be, you're just going to be disappointed.
I think if you are going to a place, like, give yourself one day where you're just, or 2 days out of your week
where you
trip,
don't play anything,
where
yes.
you're not planning and you're just bopping around and looking at things.
I think that's a great note, because like in that Paris Reddit, there would be people who put these wall-to-wall schedules up, and they'd be like, do you think I planned too much? And people would be like, you didn't even put 15 minutes to get from the Louvre to the Eiffel Tower. Like, and it's like 90% of that day is queuing. So it's like, again, going back to like, what's your intention? Is your intention to enjoy it or check things off? That was Natalie's point. And I think that's a great one. So, but I think to add on to that, if you catch yourself in that checking boxes place, what can you do to center yourself? Can you take a walk without headphones? I have not put my headphones in once, and we've been walking all over the city since we've been here.
Yeah.
And that's been so nice to just be present with, like, we stumbled on a running brook, and we were like just listening to the sound. It's like,
I did that this morning on my walk over here.
This is so beautiful.
It's
like,
so
we
beautiful.
accidentally found that street.
Yeah. I think go on a walk every day while you're on a trip without an intention. Like, just go on a walk and look around you. And that is like a good way to like not be so in the list of things you want to do, but be in the place that you're in.
Like, we're trying to get to that big cathedral that's here in this town. And on the way, we stopped at 400, like, probably not even exaggerating, of the same exact tourist shops with the same tiles. And I was just like, well, let's go in this one. And I could have gone into 400 more. Like, it's just something compelling about being like, ooh, somebody would like this or somebody like that. And then being like, let's just go to the next one.
Yeah, that's so fun. I love that.
Okay, here's a question.
How do you travel with friends who may have different travel styles than you? For example, I like to wake up early, but my friend is adamant about sleeping in. Any advice would be great.
You gotta let people do themselves.
Yeah.
Do you, boo? Like, I would not travel with anyone who expects me to be the way that they are. For me, though, what's interesting is how you travel. That's a friend barometer for me. That's a check. Like, there's some people that I'm like, oh, they'd be really awful to travel with. Like, maybe they're the people that get really, like, they're going to stand online all angry, like waiting for their group to be called and like, or they're just going to be very rigid about time or about we said we were doing this. Like I can't, I would not have fun on that trip.
I feel like that's a different question.
Ooh, is it?
Because I feel like sleeping in is not the same as, like maybe your friend's intention for the trip was to relax and your intention for the trip was to see as many things as possible. I feel have those conversations beforehand. And then just don't give a shit. Like, what's stopping you from going out for a walk and seeing something while your friend's sleeping?
So we're traveling with Natalie, and Natalie's a very early riser. And so Natalie gets up and does a walk. Like, there was one point where she didn't sleep and we did. And she was like, listen, I'm just going to go to another museum before we meet for lunch. And she went by herself, and then we just met back up. Like, you have cell phones. But the reason that I brought the initial part up is to say, like, if a person isn't going to be okay with that, that's not a person you should be traveling with. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah, totally.
I'd be like, of course, go, do your thing. But if she made me feel bad, I'd be like, this is not, I don't want to be traveling like this.
Yeah, I think that is very true. Like, you can't then, when Natalie comes back from her morning walk, she can't then be pissed at you because you're still in bed. Like, it's like you both have to be.
Yeah. You have to know who you're going on the trip with. And I think that's the hard answer to this, that sometimes that may be a person you should not travel with. Yeah. But I think your point earlier is like talking ahead of time in advance about what your vibe is like, especially if it's someone you haven't traveled before.
Yeah. And what people want to do. Like, I've traveled with some friends and they're like, I really want to go see this. And I'm like, I have no interest in that. So
go for it.
You go for it.
Communication's important.
We love to communicate.
We do. We're over communicators. Okay, here's a money question, which I love. How do I balance the you only live once element of vacation spending with like having a realistic budget so that I don't feel like when I get home, I'm going to throw up when I get my credit card statement? They didn't say throw up. I added that. And I love this question. And
I feel like because you added the throw up, you relate to this question.
I know, I'm so into this question. But okay, so I'm going to say it's budget. And by the way, this may not work for everybody, but let's say you don't have a ton of money and you want to do this Paris trip. The first and foremost thing I'm going to say is budget for the 2 years planning up to it, so that you create a realistic budget. This is how much a hotel is. This is how much baggage check fees. This is how much I'm going to estimate I'm going to spend on doing crap and souvenirs and eating or drinking or, tours, and save that money so that this is the most ideal scenario, so that when you go, like when I come home from this trip, I have already saved whatever I saved for it, and I will just literally take it and put it to my credit card so that it's paid. It won't even show up on my bill by the time my bill comes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first thing that you can do. May not be realistic for everyone, but it's the first thing you can do.
Yeah. I give myself a day budget because I find that I am more go with the flow. Mm-hmm. So if I say like, okay, you have, $50 a day over this many days, it's like I'm going to then, if I know tickets to something I want to go to are $25, I have $25 for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that allows me to like make decisions. And sometimes I'm like, okay, like I want $100 for a really fancy dinner the next day. So I'm going to buy groceries the day before and make myself something.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a croissant in the morning so that I can have an expensive dinner at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, let's say you're not able to, like you have a wedding that you need to go to and you weren't fully able to pre-save and you have to be there. Mm-hmm. So I would then say, save as much as you can before you go. Pay for as many things in advance as you can. The budget's going to be critical. But then I'm going to tell you, like, okay, so you did only live once, but then you can't come home and be like, but I also really want this TV. Then you got to clean your junk up when you get home. Like, you have to try to be like, okay, no, I went, I had the time of my life, but that doesn't mean I get to have the time of my life for the next thing until this is taken care of. Because I just don't want you to carry debt. I'm going to get my mom voice on. Please don't carry debt.
Yeah.
Bad debt.
Yeah, bad debt. And what are you spending money on? I think that's the other thing. It's like, are you buying...
Do you need a $50 t-shirt at the airport to remember this moment?
No.
It's like you can... I'd rather that you only live once on a really expensive meal, or you only live once on a tour that you were like, oh my God, I want to go to the Louvre and I want it to be guided and I want to skip the line because the line's insane. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be $200. And that takes my budget up.
It's being like present with what you're spending money on and asking yourself if that's meaningful to you, because I'm sure to some people buying a t-shirt is meaningful. I don't know.
Sure. All right. We just got one more question. Okay. I rarely travel, but soon I'm going on a long flight plus a train ride to the airport. Do you have any tips for me? Packing hacks, travel entertainment, a great snack that doesn't cause a huge sugar crash in an hour. I mean, you must have like a million tips.
I have a million tips.
You go first because I have like 2.
Tip number 1, I never check a bag, which Natalie
just went.
I never check a bag because
2 bags.
I like to not spend more time at the airport, and I also do not trust airlines. So that's my first hack is I think you can fit everything you need for a trip unless you're bringing your own sheets.
Natalie's deep breathing right now.
Into a carry-on.
I'm going to give you time for your rebuttal.
That's packing hack. I mean, there's so many packing tutorials. I feel like just look up one on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not going to tell you how to pack.
That squish things down.
Yeah, you can pack. Second tip is to always be prepared for the flight. So I think know how long the flight is going to be. Book in an extra hour because sometimes they fuck you. And
get there early, get food at the airport
early.
So you don't have to buy their crap food on the plane.
I always look up the plane that I'm flying on in my seat. And
really?
I like the type of plane so I can like know what kind of flight it's going to be. Like, are you in a 3-row or, you know, like, are there outlets? Is there like in-flight entertainment or not? And then on entertainment,
download your Netflix if you have Netflix. Like rack up your phone with stuff because I don't expect a plane to have a little TV anymore. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't. So look it up in advance. But I always download like 10 podcast episodes. I always download a playlist, and I always download like 3 or 4 shows.
I always have 2 audiobooks.
And then that leads me to my next thing, which is bring 2 kinds of headphones. You can use your little AirPods to connect to your phone for things you've downloaded. But then you need the ones with the little, you know, 1/4 inch plug to go into the little plane thingy.
I think try to get on the time zone as quickly as possible. If you're traveling overnight, stay up when you arrive to get on their schedule as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I think try to adjust. I always bring food for a plane because I have a lot of food allergies. I can never eat plane food.
I always bring a couple of bars for the trip. Because I think you could find yourself all of a sudden, like in some, like we're in a country now where the eating hours are very off for me. Like a 9 o'clock dinner is like, what in the name of hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And things are shut down for periods of time. So just having like some bars just in case, I think is really critical.
Yeah. And I mean, this is maybe, I don't know if everyone does this, but I always go to the grocery store once I get somewhere and I get just like snacks for where I'm staying. I usually get granola because I think it's like an easy thing. And then I get like
fiber because sometimes when you travel, no need to finish that sentence.
Yeah. And then I get a salty treat or something. I'll get bread and cheese or, you know, and a vegetable.
And I think make sure to travel with all of your meds and keep those in your carry-on so that you don't ever lose those. But like, I do love like going back to the phone, like you can search a local market, you can search all that stuff just so that you have it. I think it's good to get yourself set up.
I will say, if anyone wants it, I have a note, like an iPhone note of packing things that I look at every single time I go on any trip, and I go through and I click every single thing, and it has a list of everything I need. It's like
I make a new one every time, and I don't know why I don't just save it.
Why?
Because I like to delete them as they go so that I don't miss anything. I know.
Why don't you just make a checklist and then check it?
I do make it as a checklist, and I still delete them as I go. And I don't know why. Hold on. Natalie's coming in with some more hot tips.
Okay, you're going to laugh at me, but also sometimes if you save everything on your phone and you don't have your laptop, actually do have a copy of your passport page. So if you need to go to the embassy, I find coming here, we had a lot of trouble booking. So sometimes have a backup of a paper or something, because the trains I thought was really tricky and communication was really weird, even when you checked the English translation button on the website. So anything can happen. There could be theft, and you need to know where you're going. So sometimes if it's somewhere where you don't speak the language, have a backup for your safety as well.
Yeah, I would say on that note, know a phone number.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people today don't have like a phone number memorized of someone. I think it's always a good thing to have someone's phone number.
Yeah, I keep a paper copy. If I travel like internationally, I keep a paper copy of my passport too, just in case. And like my full itinerary, like it's the 1990s. Although I didn't for this trip.
How do you delete it when it's on paper?
I throw it out. I recycle it. Shut up, Steph.
You have reached the well-adjusting expert of the day.
My name is Annie Roderique-Jones. Everyone calls me Annie. And I am a travel journalist. And I have been now to maybe 65 countries or so. But I didn't get my passport until I was like 25 years old. So I really am trying to make up for lost time. So my best tips for getting acclimated would be to first definitely embrace the jet lag. I know it's really difficult when you're working or you have meetings, but it's just an inevitable part of traveling. So I think sometimes it can kind of work in your favor. So for example, if like Southeast Asia has these great outdoor bar scene that goes super late at night, and you can kind of sit and mingle with these local people and, work off that jet lag. Let's say you're up until 2 a.m. I definitely think taking a local food tour is something that has always been really fun for me. I just did one in Thailand. It was amazing. A local woman brought us around. I've done one in India before where you actually go into someone's home and they cook for you or you cook with them. So I think one, you're learning about the food of that culture. So you're not eating at the Applebee's and having the Grand Slam breakfast omelet or whatever you're getting at these places. You're really getting this cultural experience to see what these people eat every day and where they source their ingredients from. And then you're also kind of helping to fuel the local economy by doing that because you're supporting these local businesses. Last week, I went to Thailand. I was in Bangkok and I just didn't have any plans. I was like, I'm just going to kind of wing it. I did that food tour, which was amazing. But then I just my husband and I were bar hopping and we would ask the bartenders, where should we go eat dinner? So we had this amazing recommendation for a bar from a friend who had lived in Bangkok. The bartender there told us where to go see live music. We went to go see the live music and someone there told us where to eat dinner late at night. And it was just kind of the snowball effect. I feel like it's something people enjoy doing. So that's kind of how I did it. I think you can also get on Reddit. That's has been a good resource for me. And then I'll also do a little call out on Instagram or something. It's such a traveling is such a community driven effort anyway. So I think that, reaching out to a community beforehand is always a really nice way to immerse yourself in the culture. My advice for getting out of your comfort zone is to just kind of maybe rip off one little tiny bit of the Band-Aid. So let's say you have all your hotels booked. That makes you feel really comfortable. And, maybe normally you would book breakfast, lunch, dinner, tour, nap time, all of that. Maybe just try to rip off a tiny bit of the Band-Aid and don't book a dinner one night and just, wing it. And also maybe accept that things are not going to go your way all the time. Traveling, there's so many mistakes that later sometimes turn into these amazing experiences. I would say my biggest tip for being present is communicating with people. It's so easy to get on our phones right now when you're in, let's say, a car or a tuk-tuk and be videotaping whatever's around you, but instead you could be talking to that person. Having conversations with people is such an amazing way to learn about their culture. You're visiting them. That's the whole thing. And so most people are really excited to tell you about where they're from.
So we've scratched the work itch. Our homework is done. Now we're going to go enjoy the rest of our trip. We're going to take our own advice. We're going to put our phones down. We're going to be present. We are going to be engaged.
To each other.
Okay, on that, no, let's just go get something to drink.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
love that.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
For more Robin, and you may need that, you probably don't need it, but if you do, you can follow me at Real Rob Hops on all the platforms, all the socials, as the kids today say. Well Adjusting is an Edit Audio original series. It's exec produced by Steph Colburn and Robin Hopkins. Our producer and editor is Maria Passingham, and our production manager is Kathleen Speckert. Thank you to the entire Edit Audio team and to you for listening. Oh, hey, before you take out those AirPods, this show is just for entertainment. If you are in need of help, please, please, please reach out to a professional. Go ahead and get that help. You deserve it.
In the time it takes you to actually board a flight from Group 8,
Now boarding Premier Altitude Elite Club members.
you could have bought a Hyundai on Amazon. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. Limited availability, pickup through participating Hyundai dealer in select markets.